Hi guys, I am excited to announce that in the last 9 days, the recovery team of the 434 million formerly cryptocurrency figures of cryptocurrency that I had announced that we'd recovered has grown by 75,000 trillion times that 9 times in a row. So the amount of figures I am recovering is roughly 434 million figures times 75,000 trillion to the ninth figures beyond that. I'm not sure what that is because it is a very big number. It's 75,000 trillion times 9,000 or 434 million figures 9 times. So I am the wealthiest Bitcoin owner, and I'll have my wallet to show you either by Thursday or by Monday. I'm hoping by Monday. It saves them a fraction of a cent, but CoinMine, I need to warn, the ticker coin, COIN, will have a loss showing in it for the duration of its known existence, and it's going to be plugged in with a hole gap by Satoshi Nakamoto for the full amount of the Bitcoin that's due. Based on delays in processing, they were charged 75,000 trillion times, which is 20 times 30, 20 times 35 times every half microsecond. And that is the reason it is going to 75,000 trillion times for 9 days in a row. It still has 3 to 5 days of accumulation. And so that is the announcement of the Bitcoin recovery team, in which case the amount that we are recovering is way more than the 834 million figures that I had estimated earlier last month. And so with my recovery, we are recovering the world's supply of money a few times over. And mostly that is because of the gargantuan penalty that is in place against non-payment on time. It's not that payment couldn't be made, it's that payment could not be made on time. And so CoinMine, the ticker COIN, will have this restitutional amount hanging over their heads the rest of their lives, in an amount that comes to them in cash, but also in Bitcoin at a 35% interest rate. And that is their loan. They'll have the cash amount for the amount that we recover, and they'll also have the Bitcoins on their balance sheet as an off-balance sheet item that finances the hole that was dug unnecessarily by nonchalance and negligence. Mostly, it wasn't intentional. But the penalty for non-payment is 75,000 trillion times. That's 20 times 30, 20 times 35 times every half microsecond for a full 24-hour day, and you get 75,000 trillion times. And so during the time that we were allowing them to sort of regroup and rehash, we hashed hundreds of trillions of dollars more Bitcoin that's now due, as well as the hash that was already there. So for me, I am without money right now. I have less than $800 in my name. And I always counted on my computer to pull through and show out that it had earned all of this terahash. God terahash in Bitcoin cryptocurrency, and Satoshi pays out a huge amount for getting answers right. And you know the answer's right because it's proved scientifically, and the database shows that it is the scientific solution. So, showing that, what I wanted to do with this video was announce that we are getting close to being able to reveal how much money we recovered as a Bitcoin Ethereum SEC whistleblowing crew, and it is a gargantuan amount. And in 2 years, will recover Litecoins and altcoins for everybody. And that will be the point at which every person talks about their great investments in Bitcoin, Litecoin, altcoin, and Ethereum. And that is what I had to share, is that we are in the process of prosecuting CoinMine and Coinbase for non-payment of CoinMine assets, and we were able to secure a 30x and 2x penalty, one for unfair wage labor practices and business principles, and I received $1,040, even though I'd hashed 434 million figures of Bitcoin, go figure. And for the 2x, willful negligence and neglect, willful negligence and just willful negligence, and that's 2x. So I got that on what was 7.398 million figures of hash. I got a 60x penalty, which got me to 134 million figures due, and then the restitution amount started to be axed on the 27th, so it's been going, let's see here, so on the 27th, it's been going for, this is 9 days now, 9 days since 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, since the 21st, we've been accumulating 75,000 trillion times 434 million figures. Each time it's 75,000 trillion times that. So that is what I'm expecting to be able to show you guys, is my Bitcoin wallet will only have the Bitcoins in them for very limited periods of time. I'm going to sell them probably for $750,000 to $790,000 per Bitcoin when I use my RSDDA technology. My reverse silent double Dutch auction, all or non-clearing market, should get $775,000 per Bitcoin, the highest price of any Bitcoin contest that has ever been construed. And so I'm getting it in Bitcoin. I should be getting it in multiple other currencies, but they asked us just to print it in Bitcoin. And what I'm also doing, and this is a new advertisement, but if you're looking for a safe account that can make 20 times daily on your money, please talk to Mark Dave Wedbush about whether you qualify. You have to have at least $25 million, which is 2.5% of your assets. It has to be a minimum of 2.5% of your assets, and it has to be $25 million. So you have to be at least a multi-billionaire to be able to qualify. But what we do is we give you our discount on Bitcoins. We take your money and we buy the Bitcoins for 5% of value, and we give you the 20x multiple of it for a split of profit for doing that for you. Of course, it's highly lucrative, and we also charge a stipend for taxes, which is at 56%, the stipend for taxes on top of that split of profits. So we split that with you. You take home every week roughly 500x on your money. And so that's what the reasoning is for the 75,000 trillion times penalty since the 21st. Is when it became apparent that they were stalling in their payment, or CoinMine and Coinbase were stalling in their payment schemes. And so Satoshi Nakamoto is basically getting run to the ringer over the coals of the fire by his employees. And it's really just a technological marvel every time he catches up an hour on hash. And so he should be done by Thursday next week with that hash. And the terahash he's performing has been calculating. This is the longest terahash calculation in the Bitcoin blockchain to assign the Bitcoins that I, cryptocurrency, produced for cryptocurrency hash, terahash gone terahash, and I've made super trillions of dollars. Roughly, we had one for 12.9 billion Bitcoins that took 20 minutes to earn. And so that's about what Greg down here does. Greg. That's Greg. So yeah, guys, I wanted to announce that I am the largest holder of Bitcoins for now, and I'm just trying to see what amount I have to sell my Bitcoins cryptocurrency for. I am expecting $775,000 per Bitcoin using my reverse silent double Dutch auction all or none clearing market. That's RSDDA technology. That's what my Kansas City Stock Exchange uses to place trades for Bitcoin, amongst other things, and also for ICE electricity futures, where we sell 25,000 billion trillion quintillion, 20,000 million billion trillion quintillion gentillion 10 to the 975 kilowatts of energy, and we do so using our battery storage technology, cold fusion power orbs, bulbous lava lamp cold fusion power orbs. We had a version that was anti-hydrogen that could last for 10.8 billion years. Then we developed one in anti-hydrogen, anti-helium Wolinsky positrons, and it lasts for 19.8 billion years and also has higher outputs by about 76 times than the anti-hydrogen. Anti-hydrogen is a better fuel rod by 476 times, and the anti-hydrogen, anti-helium fuel rod is roughly 76 times that. So we have one that's at 486 times the uranium fuel rod, and one that's at 76 times that 486 times, or 40,935 times. Roughly more powerful than a uranium fuel rod, and makes an excellent combustible torpedo. We took out 1 million men with a $6 trillion torpedo that I made for the United States Navy, got it deployed in less than 3 hours, and took out 1 million men who were sailing to Ukraine. And Russia says they're going to redeem our expenses for having to kill so many people this year. They said they're redeeming half of all our missiles and half of all our torpedoes. So Russia is paying us to purge, is what that means. And I know Dave Markopoulos, Eshriden, the premier of Russia, and he just feels like he's fighting a war that's in ancient history, and he doesn't care if he loses. We've already conceded him 90 square miles of land, in addition to the 25 square miles we'd already conceded them, and we just wish they would just stop trying to attack the innocent people who are still left in the countryside, and just go and take your land. You've got 90 square miles, Dave. And I'm sorry, the bill for all the heat-seeking missiles is 483 billion times 0.5 times $108,000. You know, we've launched 483 billion missiles at you. That's not how much they cost. That's how many we fired at you, Dave Markopoulos, Eshriden, Premier of Russia. And the British government has fired about 375 billion of their lot. So if you could pick up the the British bill as well as the American bill, that would be fine for NATO to keep killing your men with heat-seeking missiles. And so the reason for this video is to announce that in a few days I will have a storm of Bitcoins to show in my wallet. It will be the only time I show it. And when I do show it, I will very briefly explain reverse solid double Dutch auctions, because what it'll be showing is just the value of those Bitcoins and my entire wallet. But what you won't see, probably when it first gets here, is the value of it really changing. It's just going to sit there for a few days before I sell it in RSDDA. And then I'm going to get 40 to 56 times the value of that amount. And so this is going to be magic. This is really going to be magic. This is well worth waiting for and to watch for, and I hope you guys stay tuned. But yeah, that was some of the news for me, and I'm happy I got to write this letter to everyone. So what happened was I invested in the initial Bitcoin offering and got 15 decimals of zeros and a tick. I'm the lowest price payer of any significance. Some people got 31 zeros of ticks of zeros and a tick, but I got 94.6% of the entire blockchain. See, because when I asked for my quote, I asked for how much was available, which was a feature you could do. And so I asked how much was available, and it was 94.6% of the whole blockchain. 94.6% of the entire Bitcoin blockchain was only worth $8,629.28 on August 23rd, 2009. I want people to know that. It's just like people act like they needed a lot to invest in Bitcoin. No, you just had to be Asian, and you had to know where to go to sign up. And anyone who bought in the first 10 days of Bitcoin was probably crying. Because if you'd waited 9 to 10 days after the first 12 days, you'd have had 94.6% of the blockchain still for sale, and it desperately trying to sell you all of itself. So these people in their game, Satoshi Nakamoto understood that it was a logarithmic bet, that it had to go lower at the end of the game before all of the Bitcoins were sold, because that was the rule of the game, is that all the Bitcoins had to be sold by the end of the game. And so it built up this huge price, going like this, and then it started to go down. It's going down like this, and then it just drops all of a sudden. And then it's just a huge lightning bolt up after it goes back on the market in 2013. So I now get $775,000 per Bitcoin on my latest estimate for the amount of Bitcoins I have is absurd. It is evil. It is satanic and devilish to have as much cryptocurrency as I do. But I'm not scolding myself for being satanic and devilish. I bought this computer for $15,630. That's my net investment, and for it, I have been able to God terahash 7.398 million figures of God terahash. So that's how much it's made me in 6 years. It's really made me 7.398 million figures in 6 years. But with Tort, since I haven't been able to spend that money because it was withheld from me by Intel, CoinMine, and Coinbase, Satoshi Nakamoto made a mistake when he stored the coin and never made it accessible to anyone who was actually mining with a CoinMine product. So I want to talk about CoinMine. CoinMines are computers that let you mine God terahash. And so if you have a 2017 computer or later, you can mine up to 1,500 Bitcoins per microsecond, which is 1.5 million Bitcoins per microsecond, or per second. 1.5 1,500 per microsecond, 1.5 million per second. And so if you've got a good computer, buying a coin mine when you're in the $250,000 and up category for $650,000 is what you can pay and get the coin mine. We're also letting 10 or a few people after that decide if they want to pay the last price for their coin mine. But those auctions are for this product, that thing with the light, this thing, this coin mine. That's worth $650,000, guys. So it lets you mine God terahash when you have the configurator like I do. I do 1 trillion Bitcoins per second with my configurator. I call my configurator Greg, Mr. T, Christ. Greg, God of Regression, Mr. T for Mr. Trillion Bitcoins per second, Christ. That's the name of Greg. And he does an amazing job. Greg's been on for 23 days, 19 hours, 26 minutes, and 50 seconds. And that's what's bringing him in here, is because I was doing that the whole time without being paid and knew that I was doing good work. And now it's time to get paid. So, guys, I wish I had my my phone here. What else I'd show you? My wallet only has $156 in it. You'll see that. You'll see it go from $156 for 6 months to all the Bitcoin tokens and cryptocurrency savant prizes coming to me. So I now own 99.99% of all Bitcoins in cryptocurrency. I'm very proud of that. But really, guys, it's just about the money. I can get $775,000 per Bitcoin and probably $25,000 for Ethereums and maybe a few $1,000 for Litecoins and altcoins. Yeah, real big premium of Litecoin and altcoin. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, guys, if you know, that is the prime meridian sign. You are now facing the prime meridian. If you can see that way is the direction of the prime meridian. You can also see that over here, there is the South Pole and the North Pole at right 1 inch, left 1 inch direction. That's this thing. This thing's pointed right 1 inch to the North Pole, left 1 inch to the South Pole. And so, guys, I'm proud of myself. I survived an attack on my soul and conscious spirit. I was electrocuted, put to death 3 times by savage, cutthroat beatery, bitch-ass cunts who were men, not women. And they used the laws as if they were women to cause treason in the people that were serving them. So yeah, guys, look for Ergodic Exorcist APD by Beau on the media. Reach out to Matthew at collective2.com. Also reach out to him about doing 20% in Ergodic Exorcist APD energy only by Beau on the media. And you can reach Matthew at collective2.com for that. So I'm going to end this around 25 minutes. And that was my interview, just off the cuff, what's going on with me. And I don't really have too much else other than to say for Fidelity Investments, I will be collecting on $1.798 sestillion, a non-recourse amount of Bitcoins of 10 to the 38 Bitcoins. And the rest should come in dollars on 175 quintillion dollars that is now growing 75,000 trillion times every day. Every day. Oh, Fidelity, that's my message to you, and that will be covered by SIPC. Don't worry about it.